All right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. I'll give you a rundown on all the books that I'm picking up and other things you need to be keeping an eye on for when you go to your shop to select your books. I'm going to cover all of the publishers here and basically give you a full rundown on all the books coming out this week. Hopefully you're enjoying this as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Your comments do help. The engagement definitely helps the algorithms here at YouTube. So please let me know in the comments down below what you think and make suggestions on books you think that I should be checking out or others should be checking out and reading. Put your favorites down there in those comments. And while you're at it, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so we're going to start off this week as we do every week with the top of the stack. Now, these are the top of the pile, the first books that I want to check out and read when I get my new comics this Wednesday. And there are some good ones coming out this week, so I can't wait to catch up on the absolute stuff over at DC. I kind of wish they would spread them out a little bit more so we don't get hit with so many books all at once, but it is what it is, so we got to roll with it. The first one coming out, Absolute Batman number 16, following up on that crossover with Absolute Wonder Woman from her prior issue. You remember how well that book did. So definitely want to keep an eye on this one and definitely want to read this one as we move forward with this first time crossover here in the Absolute universe. So Batman, Wonder Woman, looking forward to this. Cover A option here. You've got a B cover here as well, done by Michael Cho. There is a connecting cover set that you can get that connects with a variant from that Wonder Woman book. This is done by Lyrics Lee. This is the Batman side of it, and we can show you the Wonder Woman side of it if you wanted to connect those two up. There you go. Not too bad there. And then there's a fourth option here as well with this Frank Cho that is awesome as well. So you got Michael Cho and you got Frank Cho both giving us variants on this Batman book. And there is still a 1 in 25 incentive, which is a rarity over at DC these days, as not many books are getting the incentive treatment these days. But Absolute Batman gets one here with number 16. So if you're interested in that, you could pick that one up as well. Now, arguably, the other book that I'm really looking forward to is the next Absolute Wonder Woman book, which kind of follows up with a new story arc starting as we're seeing the Absolute version of Zatanna taking center stage as part of this this next story arc. Not her first. I know we got to go back a few books. There's some debate over what her first was, but I think it was like issue 12 or something from the series. Not that last issue, as a lot of people have speculated towards. But Absolute Wonder Woman number 16 is starting a new story arc, and we are seeing Zatanna in the Absolute universe featured very prominently here on multiple covers. This is the cover A option. She is not present on the B, which is a Derek Chu. I believe it's a Derek Chu. Yeah, that's a Derek Chu option there. She does get center stage here in this Madonna-esque Gilliam March cover that I really dig. There's something about it. It's just a really cool cover. I like it. And then we move away from her again and just go to Wonder Woman for this fourth cover option as well. No incentive here, just 4 open order covers. Pick the one that's your favorite. I think I'm getting the Gilliam March because that is my favorite of this bunch. With that said, G.I. Joe also following up its Dreadnought War with this one-shot story, kind of a standalone Night Force covert op, it says here in the write-up. So we're getting Roadblock in this one-shot. Looking forward to this. Always fun when you got Roadblock. He's got his food truck going. This is going to be fun. Number 18, multiple covers here. That's the A. We've got a B cover here as well as the Ben Olivers that we've been getting. So we're getting all these Ben Oliver headshots. So here's another one here. And then we go with the incentives with a 1 in 25 that has that card back explosion splash, as well as a 1 in 50 option to go along with that. Now, surprisingly, even though this is number 18 and not specific, like a special issue of a start of a new story arc, it's a standalone issue. This one is getting a 1 in 100 as well, which is kind of shocking. But a 1 in 100 foil edition for this book is another option for you G.I. Joe collectors. So I'm probably going to stick with the A or the B personally, but you grab whichever one that you like. Also, near the top of my pile, I'm looking forward to continuing this Skinbreaker story. I know this is kind of like I attribute it to Avatar because this is kind of what I hoped Avatar would be, as opposed to what it actually is. I still haven't seen the second movie, let alone Fire and Ash, which is in theaters now. It's just not my deal. And I love James Cameron. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big James Cameron fan. Loved Aliens, loved Terminator. I'm just not a big fan of Avatar. That said, I am a fan of Skinbreaker, and I'm looking forward to see where this story continues on with number 5 here. So let's see where this goes. I'm probably going to get the A, though we do still have the character spotlight covers on the B, as well as solid 1 in 10 option here, and other incentives that aren't bad either. So we got a 1 in 25, giving that kind of broad landscape, beautiful, setting that you get there. And then we do get a 1 in 50 option here as well, which ain't too bad. But like I said, I'm not going to be paying up for the incentives, so I'm most likely just sticking with the cover A on this one because I just want to read it. Just want to read it, which is why it's near the top of my pile, along with one book from Marvel that is also going to be right there near the top, and it's The Infernal Hulk. I've enjoyed this return back with this kind of monster-esque, villain-esque sort of Hulk taking center stage, so I'm looking forward to see where we go with number 3. I know this won't last forever, but so far so good with this storyline. So number 3 by Philip Kennedy Johnson, I'm on board for it. So definitely going to be near the top of my pile with probably the cover A, though the Noto here on the B isn't bad. You get the reflection there in the glasses with Banner and Hulk being separated, as we all know at this point. And then there is a 1 in 25 to talk about here as well. If you know this show, there are some other covers here for Marvel in particular that we will cover later when we get to those variants, but just want to put that out there. We'll get to those, but for right now, this is what we're talking about for Infernal Hulk. And that is my top of the stack, my top of the pile type books. And then I'm going to follow that up with a blind pick. And this blind pick is another book that I think is going to do very well this week, and I'm looking forward to reading it. It is also from Marvel, and it is a new number 1 as we are restarting Iron Man this week. Now, Iron Man is one of those titles that I kind of dip in and dip out. Every time they kind of restart, I check it out, see if this is the direction I want to go in. And then however many issues it takes for me to say, okay, I've had enough, I usually bow out. Probably will happen again. Just admitting it, it'll probably happen again. But for now, I'm looking forward to see where we're going to go with this new direction by Josh Williamson here with number 1. A lot of cool covers here. This first one is a wraparound, so let's take a look at the back of it, which we got some other characters here to showcase as well, some of the supporting cast, if you will, as we're going to see Madam Mask kind of take center stage for a while, and I guess we're going to be seeing some Citizen V showing up pretty cool pretty soon as well. With that, multiple covers on this, many covers. Here is a B cover here, again, focusing on Madam Mask on the villain side of things, and then you got Tony on the hero side of things with Norman down below. Which is kind of nice to see. A Madam Mask cover also included in this by Elizabeth Torque. So you can get that cover if you want to go that way. And then we've also got a Scotty Young, which is going to be a connecting cover, which I'm not sure how many it's going to run, but I will build these out as we go along and show you the full spread once we have all the Scotty Young armor variants for that. But here's the first one, starting off with number 1. There's also a foreshadow variant. So I guess we are foreshadowing the fact that Black Widow is going to get some armor soon. I mean, okay, I guess. Or no, and I'm sorry. Why did I say Black Widow? Melinda May. So this is kind of a spoiler, if you will. There are some foil covers as well. So here's 2 options with the center chest and then a full-on Iron Man option there. Both foil. Get either of those. And they did mark this cover as classified, but I feel like that foreshadow variant also kind of spoiled things a bit, as the classified cover is an Ivan Talavera of Melinda May, and it looks like she might be getting some armor there, as I mentioned. So we'll see. I don't know. I think it could be cool. See the cavalry in armor. It looks a little bit like a stealthy version of Rescue's armor, but yeah, we'll see in the story ahead, I guess. And then with that, there is a Villa Lobos cover here as well. And these 2 are of note because there are virgin versions of both, which are the incentives for this title with the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 100. So yeah, not bad stuff here. So with that, before we get into the rest of the books, I want to remind anybody out there who needs supplies, use my code RENA10 over at BCW to get your supplies, get your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your CGC boxes, those heavy duty plastic ones, get those, or the top loaders for your comics or cards. basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You can find some supplies over at BCW. And if you're going to spend money on supplies, you hate doing it, you might as well save some money while you do it and use my code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order. You help out the channel, you get yourself a discount. You got nothing to lose by doing so. So with that all said, gone through the top of my stack, got a blind pick for you. Now let's look at the other books coming out publisher by publisher, starting off with DC, who has a couple of more absolute books to come out this week. Again, any other week, these books might be at the top of the stack, top of the pile, but considering they loaded up with 4 titles on the absolute side of things coming out in 1 week, 2 went to the top. The other 2 are kind of in the pile with everybody else. So who's in the pile with everybody else, but still a part of my pull list? Because you'll see, there's my little pull list coin. When you see that on screen, that means that's a book that I'm personally getting, but we're going to run through all the books. So with that, Absolute Flash, number 11, coming out this week. Going to get this. I get all the Absolute books these days. They're all good reads. So A, B cover. There's a C option as well as a 4th one here. I'm fine just getting the A and saving $1 on this one because I just want to continue to read this. Same story with Absolute Martian Manhunter. I'm probably just sticking with the A and saving $1 because it's $4.99. No need for me to pay $5.99 to get one of these variants, though they're not bad. The variants. I mean, this is okay. I really like this, the 3rd one here. I think it's Eric Kanata on this one, possibly, if I'm remembering correctly. And then there is a Bengal cover, but I couldn't find it yet. Couldn't find it anywhere, but apparently there's a 4th cover option. No incentives, but I don't know what the cover looks like. I couldn't find it online anywhere. So, yeah, take a shot if you want. Oh, also at DC, we were getting a $10 one-shot. So, DC Supergirl Next Door, a one-shot coming out. It's $10, 80 pager. So, there's plenty of content there for your $10, but still, it is $10. This is the cover A. Not bad. I kind of dig the pink, but I bet you a lot of people are going to gravitate towards the Lozano cover because it does remind me of that Supergirl special from over the summer that hit. So keep an eye on this one. Yeah, she's got some big hair here, some big throwback hair, but I think this cover is going to be popular amongst collectors, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it go for a premium, even though it's already $10 to start. Just something to keep an eye on because I don't know how many copy shops are going to order of this $10 special. So I think there's going to be some interest on this book. With that said, another book, still part of my personal pull, Detective Comics. These Michael Janin covers are really cool. I'm digging them. But yeah, so 1105 coming out this week with, this is the cover A. Good with that. I've already made my feelings known about these sideways covers. They're very good by Greg Smallwood, but they're just sideways, which annoys me. So I'm going to show you it right way up, and you can see, yeah, the art's great, but I just hate that it's sideways. And then our 3rd option, I couldn't find one with the trade dress, but this is the Bjorn Barons that also looks pretty awesome. I imagine the trade dress or the limited trade dress will be up at the top somewhere, but I couldn't find an image that was spotlighting it. So this is what we've got for Detective 1105. Now, this book has been on the fence for a while, and I'm still picking it up, and that is Green Lantern with issue 31 because they keep giving me team-ups. I can't turn down a good team-up. They gave us Batman, they gave us Green Arrow, now we got Barry Allen's Flash showing up here, so it's like hard for me to put this title down just yet, but we'll see. Number 31, cover A is probably going to be fine by me for the extra, $1 less, but here's a Dodson, which ain't bad, and then a couple other options here. So you got this as well as a 4th one here. No incentives because, again, DC has kind of put a pause on their incentives for the most part. The occasional one, slipping out here or there. But there's our Green Lantern 31. Now we're going to move into some more books coming out from DC that I may personally not be picking up, but maybe you guys are. So Harley and Ivy, Life Crimes number 3, continuing this mini-series of these 2 and their relationship together. You've got a cover A. You got a B option here. By Lyrics Lee on that one. Not bad. C option, pretty cool. And then a 4th one that also has a foil edition that you can pick up if you want to get a shiny foil version of this one. A little less trade dress, shiny foil. Get that if you're interested. But that's not the only Harley book. They're doubling up on Harley duty this week as well with Harley number 58 of her regular title. Fun little cover there with a big push pin, and she's going to pop the Zeppelin. Cool. Air Pirates, I guess we're hitting up. Nakayama cover on the B is not bad. Also, this is her current kind of look that we have for Harley. It's again, it reminds me of a Suicide Girl look. You know that group. But Inhuckley, pretty cool. And then we've got a fourth option here as well, all open order, like I said, where they make her mask look more like glasses. I don't know, maybe that's part of what it is. So it looks like she's got some oversized glasses more so than a mask, but whatever. We also have Justice League Red coming to a close with issue 6. I dipped into this title, but it really just wasn't for me. I'm not a big team book guy, but Justice League Red is wrapping up the end here for this miniseries with issue 6. 2 cover options here, both spotlighting Power Girl on the front. So pick whichever one you like if you're still picking this up. But this would be it for this title. We'll see if they come back with this team. But for now, we're going to move on to the DC KO side of things. Yes, the KO event is still continuing strong, and there are 4 tie-in books this week. That's right. Plenty of books tying into KO's event this week. I had just been praising them for not overdoing it, and they're only being like 1 or 2 titles, and now they hit us up with 4. Fatigue's going to start setting in soon, at least for me, but we'll see how it goes. So far, so good. A lot of different flavors, a lot of different vibes for these books, so they have that going for it. And not the need to pick up every title to know what's going on has also been helpful. But Superman with a tie-in. This is a near mainline book at this point. So number 34, you got Lex, you got Supes, both moving on in this tourney. There's an Eom Lois Lane, which ain't bad, but Lois didn't miss leg day. I'm just saying. She didn't miss leg day. She looks like a NXT wrestler here, just wearing a trench coat. But cool. Still an Eom. If you like Eom, there's a cover there for you. Another one. A lot of covers here, by the way, for Supes. There's 3, and our 4th one has a rough outing at lunchtime, I think, for Supes. He took a risk. He took a risk and got some Taco Bell, and it's just not sitting well with him. So much so that our 5th cover just shows the aftermath of what happened to him there. No, it's a manga cover that we've seen teased before, but still, I don't know. There's a lot of all this stomach and power pooping. Neither for me. I'm just not currently picking up Supes right now. So, yeah, I'm not going to be getting either of these personally. But, hey, grab whichever one you like. With that, I am curious to finally maybe go back to The Flash and see what's going on here as, I couldn't get into that prior run. I was just so lost. I didn't know what was going on that maybe now I can kind of dip a toe back into the water and see what's going on with The Flash, but maybe not during the KO event. That might be a tall order, but issue 29 has a few covers here. We've got a Miguel Mercado, which ain't too bad. I kind of like that one. And then a third option here for your Flash. Justice League Unlimited is also tying into the KO event. So we've got this going on here, the terrific 10 part 4. Multiple covers on this book as well, as there's your A, there's a Scroce on the B. You've got, again, the Trinity once again there. On a third, here's a 4th with some, more of the characters. Very, very broad-shouldered characters on this one. Not just the shoulders, too. Like, I mean, I know it's Power Girl, but still, she didn't miss leg day either. And then we got Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific here on that final cover for number 15. So, again, if you're picking it up, pick your favorite out of those 5 because they're giving you 5 options. They may not be giving you incentives, but they're still giving you plenty of cover options these days. And then we've got this one-shot, the Kids Are All Fight special. So I guess a play on the Kids Are All Right kind of thing. But, yeah, here we go. Bunch of the younger characters on the DC side of things, I guess, telling us where they are in this event with John Kent and Cassandra Cain, etc. Cover A, you've got a B here. You've got a C option here, as well as a 4th and even a 5th. So a lot of covers, as I mentioned, even without incentives. Speaking of which, DC also has these extras out there if you're collecting variants. So Sweater Weather, you saw what happened with Nightwing last week, already selling at a premium. Will that happen here with either of these 2? It's possible, but I don't know. Nightwing might take the cake as the Sweater Weather cover for 2026, but keep an eye on these. They're not bad. I mean, you got a Harley. She's always in contention to be a book that people want to go and chase with her in issue 58. And then Justice League also has these 3 here, mixing it up. As you got, Star Sapphire. This is a Ben Harvey, by the way. Not bad with the Wonder Woman and Superman back there. All just kind of soaking it in with the DC sexy Sweater Weather covers. That wraps it up, though, for the sweater weather for the month of January. So boom, there you go. All 8 have been accounted for, and yeah, we'll see what happens with these. Just like we'll see what happens with these punk rock variants that they slipped out here to start the year. So a couple more to wrap this series up of these punk rock covers, as we've got also in that Justice League book to start us off, I believe we got a Dan Hip giving us this. It's got like a Scott Pilgrim kind of vibe to me. I kind of like it. I also love the tats. I think it's pretty fun, pretty cool, and the background is solid as well. And then this one's not bad either. So we've also got Superman on Superman number 34, and yeah, a couple more punk rock covers if you're interested. And that wraps up our punk rock set with those two. Only 6 in that set, but all accounted for here in the month of January. And that takes care of our DC contingent for this week. So let's keep it rolling and check out what Marvel has to offer us, as we've got some Marvel books to talk about. Let's see what we got first. I grab a little water here. That's right. Need a little water to keep going here, as I'm sitting talking straight for an hour. And it can be a little exhausting sometimes, to be honest. But you know what else is exhausting? This. I get it. It's 250 years of our country. I'm all for celebrating that fact, but we don't need to do it in comic book form. And I just have literally no interest in this. If this is good and I'm wrong, please tell me. It's just I had no interest in this concept. I mean, yeah, you got Morgan Le Fay. I guess that's kind of fun, but Liberty or Death, I don't need to see, the founding fathers mix it up with our Marvel heroes of today going back. I don't know. I just don't need this, but there are multiple covers here as well if you're into it. We've got this homage here that's kind of a throwback to the Barack Obama cover with Spider-Man, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of fun. And then we've got a 1 in 25 option as well if you want to go that route. It's just, again, this 1776 title's just really not for me. That said, Spidey's got an annual coming out this week, so it's like a one-shot, but it's an annual. I'm just going to mark it as a part of my pull because I get all ASM books. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. We got Screwball showing up as well, but multiple covers here, including a pretty awesome Delato. So you got the Delato, which is probably going to be the one that I get, though got some other options here. Very bright, very colorful. I think that's David Baldione on that one, possibly. And then there's a 1 in 25. So if you want to go the incentive route, you can get the incentive here. Oh, I'm sorry. There's 2 incentives because that's the 1 in 25. And then let's bring Delato back and get you a 1 in 50. That's a virgin version of that because why not, right? So yeah, let's get that down to as our other incentive. Not bad. I'll be fine with the trade dress though and save a few bucks. Wrapping up the Marvel Zombies Red Band series with number 5. So that's the end of that mini. Yes, we've got Null, Marvel Zombies, finishing it off that Red Band title. I started it. I enjoyed it to start, but admittedly I fell off on this title. I don't know if many of you continued it and if it's worth wrapping up, but here it is with number 5. You got to cover A, you got to cover B, and then we've got a third option here, all polybagged since it is a Red Band title. So these will all be enclosed in a polybag. All right. Also finishing up, apparently, is the Miles Morales Spider-Man run. So apparently this is wrapping up as the Ultimate Universe is also wrapping up. So this is the end. I'm sure we'll restart this title. There'll be a new number 1. But here, issue 42, Legacy 324, we are taking a timeout and closing the door on Miles Morales Spider-Man for now, I'm assuming. So a couple of covers here. Nice little throwback homage on this one, going back to those all new, all different, all new Marvel nowadays. Then we've got this option here with the Spot. This is a foreshadow variant. So if they're going to foreshadow Miles, and there's Miles, that's not the end for him. So we will be getting another title at some point. So spoiler alert. And then we got a 4th one here. So all open order, no incentives on this one. Pick whichever you like to kind of wrap up this storyline here to finish off the Miles Morales Spider-Man title. Again, more Marvel finishing up. So it's not just the end of the month, it's the end of a lot of titles, including the Red Band Punisher book, number 5, also part of my pull list, also coming to a close this mini. You got Tombstone, you got Kingpin. Looking forward to how this finishes off. I really like, the cover A is fine, but I really like this Fornes B cover, this negative space. Really cool, especially with the Punisher, the black and the whites. Really make this pop. Definitely going to get that one. But I also like the 1 in 25 here. I don't normally get 1 in 25s, but I really dig the blood is the skull on Kingpin there. It's just a really cool cover by Diwali, I think I did that one. I like it. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I like that 1 in 25. If I find it for a decent price, I might pick it up because I like it that much. Sorcerer Supreme coming out with issue 2. I'm just not really into this title. I get it. This creative team behind the last Scarlet Witch series still continuing on, and I got nothing against Scarlet Witch. I just couldn't get into the title, so I'm just not into continuing on with her and Sorcerer Supreme. Plus, you can't. I gotta have a limit. You can't get every book. But issue 2 coming out, multiple covers here. So if you want to get any of them, look, we got a whole bunch of X-Men and have Fantastic Four characters, all with the cloak of levitation there. And you got a Jetty Frizen, which is really cool. That's a nice cover. I will admit that. This Nimit Malavia, I think that's how you say the artist's name. I really like this one as well. I love the background. It's very detailed, very intricate. I dig it. And then we've got a Daughterman here. So I'm going to get a Russell Daughterman cover here on issue 2. And then not bad. I mean, all these covers are pretty solid because here's a 1 in 25 that is also interesting to look at. I mean, you got all the arms and appendages kind of coming out of the shadows there. But that's the 1 in 25 before we get to the 1 in 100, which is that Frizen in a virgin form. So some interest could be there. It's been a while since we've seen one of these Frizen books kind of pop on the aftermarket, but it could always happen. It could always happen again. Now, another Marvel title deciding to call it quits, or wrapping, I shouldn't say call it quits, wrapping up the mini. So issue 4 of Strange Tales is finishing up here with one cover. That's it. One cover, one choice. Get it if you're reading it. And there is the end with issue 4. Speaking of the end, while it's not over yet, continuing the end of Marvel 2099 with issue 2, we've got Marvel 3000 showing up here. This book was weird, the issue 1, so I don't know if I'm grabbing this issue 2. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe on the fence about this one. But yeah, Marvel 3000 was kind of a weird stretch to go to. I mean, I get it. But yeah, whatever. Multiple covers here. There's the A. We've got a B here with some of those Marvel 2099 characters that were introduced in that part of that last mini. You got the Silver Surfer, you got Dracula, and etc. And then we've got a third cover here with Mephisto facing off these 2099 original heroes with these newer ones of this ragtag multiversal team, like I said, that has a Spider-Man 3000 or 3099, and then you got an Apocalypse Wolverine. A lot of strangeness going on in this title. And there's a 1 in 25. So if you want to get an incentive, you got that option here as well. All right. We didn't have one last week, but we do have a Cosmic Invasion. This is the video game tie-in cover thing that Marvel's doing for not only this month, but next month. So we skipped last week. This week, we do get a cover for Iron Man #1. So it has that sort of animation cell kind of style that matches the video game look. So if you're into the Marvel Cosmic Invasion video game, the January titles are done. The February titles are still on the way. So with that, let's roll on to Marvel's other variant set for the month of January, which are the Clayton Crane variants that will also bleed into February. I don't know why we need to cover 2 months with these, but we are. So here are a couple to finish off in January before a couple more books will trickle out over the following weeks. First up, we've got Infernal Hulk #3, giving us Hulk and his very surprised eyes. And a 1 in 50 if you don't want the trade dress border that makes it look like a trading card. There's also Iron Man. Yes, Iron Man #1. You saw all the covers we already had. Here are 2 more because we just had the Cosmic one. Now we've got the Clayton Crane one. And if you don't want it with trade dress, you can get it without that as well on the 1 in 50. And then finally, here's another surprised face. A lot of teeth there on Frank Castle. A lot of teeth in that image. I don't know. They just kind of stand out to me. Just like showing off his pearly whites. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm getting the Fornez on this book. But this is on the Red Band Punisher, which also has a 1 in 50 virgin version if you want to get that. And as I said, that checks off the box for another set of 3. And we've got 3 more that will trickle out in a few weeks. So February 11th and then 1 on the 18th. So 3 more books to wrap up that cover set. And that's what we have for Marvel. So let's keep the list rolling and see what we got over at Image next. So Image Comics, starting off our indie stuff. Plenty to talk about here as we move forward. But first up, what do we got? We have the penultimate issue of the Author Immortal. So I've been picking up this series. I still got to finish catching up reading it. I liked it to start, but since it's only a 5-issue run, I'm just going to get them all. And this is the next to last. So issue 4 out this week with 2 covers. You got a cover A and a pretty cool cover B option here. So not sure which one I'm going to grab. I might go with the B because it's kind of messed up, but we'll see. My gut will make the call. Or did I already? I might have already pre-ordered this. I got to double check. I think I might have already pre-ordered this from my DCBS order, so I'll get whatever I ordered. With that said, finishing up Blood Squad 7 with issue 12. So this is the end of this series. Again, I would imagine for now, I don't know if this title will come back, but this is it. This is the one we've been waiting for. If you've been reading this, the end of Blood Squad 7 with issue 12 and 2 cover options with the very patriotic Iwo Jima homage there, and then we have the flag on the grave there as well. So pick whichever one you like and roll from there. I will be grabbing this one shot because I like Bug Wars. I thought there was a fun series, and here we go with this Spider Witch special, this one shot coming out. I'll be grabbing this Jason Aaron book this week, and yeah, it'll be coming back. Bug Wars will be returning soon, but for now, I'll take the one shot special to kind of whet that appetite for a little bit. Couple of covers here, including I'm assuming it's a joke, but on this on the polybag version, I mean, I'm sure there is a real not suitable for cover underneath inside this polybag, but I thought this cover was kind of fun. You know, you want it, you sick bastard. I thought was a fun little thing, and I'll be making sure I pick one of these up because yeah, I'm a sick bastard too. With that said, other options we've got here as well as here. All in this one shot before we get to a 1 in 25 incentive. So there you go. Cool. Also from Image, Capes, which is kind of a reworking of the original Capes run. Like there's new art and new dialogue. So it's like they're doing with Youngblood, just kind of redoing a title, if you will. Is a director's cut, I guess. I don't know what we would call these. But yeah. 3 covers, including a 1 in 10, and then more incentives to be had with a 1 in 25 and a black and white of that cover A for the 1 in 50. If you're into it, there you go. Creepshow has a couple of covers as well as a 1 in 10 incentive here. Boom. So grab whatever one of those you like. Here's another title as I take another sip. Sorry about that. But Drawing Blood, issue 10, coming out. 3 options there for you. This is done by Eastman. J.G. Jones's series, Dust to Dust, is continuing on with issue 7. There's 1 cover and a 1 in 15 incentive if you want that one. I pick up Feral, so I'll be getting the B cover as I normally do on these, but there is a cover A option on Feral issue 20. Like I said, I'll be getting the Halloween H2O homage here. And then there is also a 1 in 10 virgin version of the cover A for folks who do want to get the incentive on this. Final Boss is continuing on with issue 3. Multiple covers here done by Tyler Kirkham. So here's the A. We've got a B. We've got a C cover here. We've got a 1 in 25 option. And then more incentive variants to be had with a 1 in 50. Keep it going. Keep it going. Oh, there's a black and whitish limited color. The 1 in 100 will catch a lot of eyes as it's a ASM 129 homage here. So keep an eye on that one. But it is a 1 in 100, so it will be hard to qualify for many folks or many shops. And then there is still a 1 in 250, which is a black and white version of that cover over there. So a lot of covers there on Final Boss number 3. Keep an eye on that 1 in 100 because, again, I know there will be a lot of interest in that one due to the subject matter of the homage. New story arc starting for you readers of Kaya, this fantasy adventure series. I tried jumping in on this, but I just was lost because there were so many. I was like jumping in issue 20-something, so I just didn't know what was going on. That's not the fault of the writers. It's just I was jumping in the middle. This is a new story arc, so perhaps this will be a good jumping on point for many. But issue 33 of Kaya coming out this week as well. And Lost Fantasy, which I think some folks said to go back and give this a try. Which I might, because I do like these covers. They do have these video game covers that kind of catch the eye, but you got an A, you got a B, and then we do have 2 black and white incentive versions with the 1 in 15 and a 1 in 25. So eventually I'll get back to this. I have to give it a shot. The first issue had it was like sort of an anthology, and I Didn't love either story. They're both all right, but who knows? Maybe it's picked up since then. But new Image title this week, this Malevolent, I'm getting tongue-tied here, Malevolent #1 coming out this week. If you want to start a new Image title, this would be your cover A option, and then there's multiples from here. I got to imagine this might be not final art for this week, because I don't know if they got a black and white here. I mean, there's 2 black and white covers on this title, but I'm assuming that it might be missing trade dress and some finishing up colors. But here are some more options here, including a black and white sketch. This one's kind of creepy, kind of messed up. I like it. Cul-de-sac artist. And then we do have another one here. Yeah, look at it. It's just a lot of covers here. So all open order. There's like 6 of them if you count the blank. No incentives to worry about. So pick whichever one you like if you want to give Malevolent a shot this week. I still pick up the Savage Dragon. I just do. I'm well behind on reading it, but I still get it in issue 278. I know there have been some delays. I usually get the B covers, which are the 70s retro trade dress. But yeah, I still get these. 278 issues in, still getting them. With that, Void Rivals is another title that I also continue to get, but I do enjoy Void Rivals. We still have the Quintessence War Part 2 rolling on here. So we've got cover A, you got a B, we've got the Ben Oliver going on here. There's also a 1 in 25, as well as a 1 in 50. So if you like your incentives, you can get those as well. And I think a 1 in 50 is Chuma Hill, by the way, who has seen some interest of late with some covers. Then we also have this wrestling book. I know I've talked about not being real big into wrestling comics, but I don't know what this Wrestle Heist title is all about, but I do like that Gonzo cover on the 1 in 10. It's just really eye-catching. I dig it. So that 1 in 10 is interesting. But yeah, Wrestle Heist issue 2 coming out this week, along with Youngblood. That's right. I talked about this title before, and this is another Image redo with new art and new dialogue. It's like recolored art. It's like the original art has been refinished and the new dialogue thrown in there. And not only that, it's like mixing up the order from the original run and some of the first 2 issues. I don't know why I keep getting this, but I have been getting this, even though I didn't put the little icon up there. I have been picking this up reluctantly because it's just like one of those, you got a rubberneck. Like I can't not look away. So I'm just curious of what they're doing with this. And it hasn't been great so far. Even with the redo, it still reads pretty stilted, but I don't know. I keep getting it. So they keep getting me for $4 or $5. So who's really at loss here? You got Dan Fraga here on the second cover. Carrie Andrews is probably my favorite on this one. And then we do have a 1 per store. So keep an eye on this 1 per store thank you edition for issue 3 here. So much like those foil edition Exquisite Corpses, something to keep an eye on with this Youngblood #3. A lot of Rob fans out there. So they may be chasing this as well. So if you got a good relationship with your shop owner, maybe you can get this at a decent price. But moving on from here, let's check out what Oni has for us. So Oni Press, I'm a big fan of all the EC horror stuff that they come out with. But for this week, we don't have any of that. We do have one title, and this new #1, Spirit of the Shadows, coming out. So yeah, multiple covers here. You got a 1, you got 2. We've got a 3rd option here, which is really nice. This is Car Keschel, I believe, did this one. I really dig that cover, but there's another one to keep an eye on because we'll bring it back. There's a 4th option, and then we'll get to some virgin versions of these with the 1 in 10. We'll take that trade dress off there. There's our 1 in 10. We'll bring back this one here. This will take the color away from this one, and it'll be our 1 in 20. Also really cool, but let's bring back that Keschel because that's our 1 in 50, and we take the trade dress off of there, and it's a really nice image. It's just like Red Riding Hood-esque book. So I don't know much about the title, but I do like that cover. Next, out of Dark Horse, we're going to look at Dark Horse Comics next, and I think we got a couple things we can talk about here at Dark Horse. First, starting off with the end of The Guy in the Chair. So issue 4, final issue, the end of this series, The Guy in the Chair. If you're reading that one, there you go. And I still pick up every Witcher series. So we're starting a new Witcher miniseries, issue 1 of 4, Bloodstone. I grab all these. So I'll be grabbing this one. I think I might get the B cover This second cover here might be the one I grab. I kind of like that one, kind of chilling in the pub or the whatever you want to call it. Then we got some other options here, a third and a fourth, all open order, no incentives. Boom. We also got some stuff from Boom this week that we can talk about. I think there's 4 titles coming out of Boom, if I'm not mistaken. We've got Be Not Afraid, number 5. This is the second to last issue, so we'll be wrapping up with issue 6. So if you're reading Be Not Afraid, one more to come. A couple of covers here. That's the A. We've got a B. We'll take that trade dress from the B and make that our 1 in 10. So there you go if you want that one. And then we do also have a 1 in 20, which is another Virgin book, but not of the other art. It is a standalone 1 in 20. So there you go. Another title out of Boom, Blink and You'll Miss It, issue 5, coming out here. So it's the stunning conclusion. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put the end here. But this is the end of this title, I believe. So issue 5 of Blink and You'll Miss It, cover A. We've got a 1 in 10. And we've also got a Virgin version of the cover A. That's an unlockable open order. And that's it for that title. I do pick up Hello Darkness, kind of in that same vein as our sort of Hyde Street and the EC horror type stuff. I like getting these anthology books. So Hello Darkness is on my pull list. I'm not sure which cover I'm getting. I don't know if I'm getting the Rebecca Pueblo, which I do like. The Jenny Frison here is kind of creepy. I like it as well. We've got a third option here. Virgin cover, not bad. And then a Becky Cloonan 20th anniversary of Boom. I might get the, I don't know, A or the B probably. But bringing back the A, that is also our 1 in 10 if we take that trade dress away from it. So doesn't hurt the image at all. Nor does it hurt the 1 in 20 when we take the color and background away from that. Or tweak the color, if you will. So that is our 1 in 20 on that book. And then finally, out of Boom, if you're a Power Ranger fan, there's plenty of covers for your Power Ranger number 14, Power Rangers Prime. You got 3 right there. Torrin Clark, probably the best of this bunch. But here's a couple more, including a Virgin. And then we've got other Virgin variants here for the 1 in 10, the 1 in 15, and the 1 in 20. And then there is still yet another 1 in 25 Virgin variant, which is new art, not based off a cover released previously. So there you go. IDW next. We'll check out what IDW has in store for us, as I think there's a few titles. Nothing that I personally pick up, but if you're like a Turtle fan, there's some stuff, including some other titles like Monster High. So if you're into the Monster High stuff, there is a Monster High Bermuda Triangle. That's kind of weird. Tough to say because you want to say Bermuda, but Bermuda? Yeah. 3 covers. Pick one. Sleepy Hollow also coming out. Return to Sleepy Hollow. And this is that follow-up to the Tim Burton movie, if you were curious. Issue 3. 2 open order covers, as well as a pretty sweet 1 in 15. Looks like an old novel, like an old paperback novel there. But pretty cool art. I think it's a... Darn it, why am I drawing a blank on the artist? I wanted to say J.G. Jones, but I don't think it's J.G. Jones. I think it is female artist. Can't think of her name. Drawing a blank. Anyway, that's the 1 in 15. So we're going to move on from there and check out what we have with Casey Jones for you Turtles fans. Casey Jones, number 4, coming out with 2 cover options and then a 1 in 25 version of that B cover. And then the Saturday morning cartoon Turtle comic has 33 issues to its name now. And there you go. 3 different covers. So pick whichever one you like. And from here, we will get into the rest of the indie comics. So there are still plenty more indie books to get into. We're going to run through them and go through what all the publishers have for us. But first, let's tell you what people aren't getting this week. And here are the publishers who will be sitting out this week as far as new releases go. So we will be getting nothing new from these publishers here, starting off with Distillery and Panic and Magma. You got Fantagraphics, Massive, Udon, Archie, etc. Keen Spot. But that's who's not releasing a title this week for us to pick up, but plenty to come from publishers like Ahoy. So if you're reading Ahoy stuff, here is a new Toxie book, Toxic Avenger Comics number 7. Couldn't find one with a trade dress because I'm assuming there's trade dress up there. So I had to put the title there so I knew what book this was. But yeah, Ahoy's got this. Alien books. offers our Valiant books. They have this Tales of the Shadow Man #2 of 3 coming out. Ghost of the Bayou, 2 cover options, and then 2 virgin versions of said covers, also open order. So if you're into that, get one of those. Newer publisher to me. I don't know much about Altruist Comics, but I figured I'd throw everything out there in case you guys are reading it. Issue 5 of Bullet Adventures. This looks like the start of a connecting cover on the A, I think. Well, I don't know if that's the A or the B, but on the one on the left. And then the one on the right there is your other cover option. So, yeah, issue 5. So title been out a little while. Antarctic has a couple of titles that are not Cheesecake books. We have Exciting Comics, and then, well, Freakier Than Normal might have qualified, but more mech than Cheesecake. So I just put it here. Bad Idea has a new book coming out, or another book coming out this week, and this is wrapping up Survive. So this is that sub book. I'll be getting this to kind of finish this off. Again, I'm a fan of what Bad Idea has been doing. I've been good reads so far. So I'll be getting this 5th issue of this title as well. And this is the end of the road for it. There's a little synopsis of what the book's about if you want to check that out. But there's a cover A. There is also a B cover, as well as a 1 in 20 incentive, which is a black and white version of that cover A. So there you go. Dynamite is up next with Terminator Metal #4 with 4 different covers. There are 2. Here are 2 more. And then, you know, Dynamite, they've got various variations of these, but I'm just showing you those 4. Just like Thundercats. So Thundercats #23. There are 3 different art covers and 3 more for your viewing pleasure. And then there are various variations of all of these to be had because it's Dynamite. So get your Thundercat book as you like it. Moving on from here, Ignition. So Ignition Press does have No Place. This Tim Seeley book, issue 3, coming out. I feel like I want to check this one out, but I haven't gotten a hold of this one yet. So I want to give this one a look-see. But No Place, #3, 2 covers to choose from. And then we have up next, Invader Comics, Do Not Disturb. So Do Not Disturb has a new issue coming out there. 2 covers from Invader Comics. Yeah, I know some of these publishers are on lesser known side, but I know if anybody's reading these titles and should be picking them up, please let us all know in the comments down below if these are good reads that I'm just skimming over, but I just want to cover it because this is what's coming out. Because we got a new #1 coming out over at Mad Cave, this Astro Quantum #1. So we got some spacefaring adventures. If you're into it, there you go. 2 cover options. If space isn't your thing, Mad Cave's got some old-timey detective stuff with Dick Tracy and 2 cover options there. And then they got a couple of titles with only 1 cover apiece. We've got Ferocious, we've got Flash Gordon Quarterly, and Flow. Wrapping up with issue 5. Yeah, so we got that. And then 2 more titles, each with 1 cover. Mad Cave still has The New Space Age #2, and then Temporal #4, which is the second to last issue on that title, with issue 5 coming to wrap up that miniseries, at least that first arc, if not that title. Torrin Clark cover there, not bad. Going over to Titan, Conan. Conan, multiple covers here. I really dig the Zafino, and they're giving us way too many options of it. There's the cover A. There's a B cover. I think it's done by Sweeney Boo. Then there's a foil edition of that Zafino. And then there's another cover option there by Scott C. And then we've got a bloody black and white version of that Conan by Zafino. And then we also have a virgin version that's more blue. And I think it was foil, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, the foil was the other one. A lot of versions of it. But it's cool. I like it. But I don't know if we needed 4 different versions of it. Speaking of 4 different versions, we have 4 different versions of Craniacs. So Craniacs issue, what issue is this? Can't find it on the cover here. I think it's like issue 4 or 5. But anyway, 1, 2, 3. And then on that 3rd one, there is a glow-in-the-dark version that I'm sure people will love grabbing those weird little gimmick books, you know, especially glow-in-the-dark. And I don't think that's our only glow-in-the-dark book. I think there's another one in here coming from Titan. And then we've got Escape from Skull Island, continuing this animated series, I think, from Netflix. Couple of covers here, A and a B. Oh, this has the glow-in-the-dark. So this is a glow-in-the-dark version of that one. This is a Maria Wolf, I believe, as well. So it's kind of cool. If you don't like it in color or glow in the dark, well, you can get a black and white version of it then, along with another cover option. And then there is also a blank sketch. So if you want to get the blank sketch or this Netflix animated series cover, a lot of cover options for your Return to Skull Island. And that's from Titan, wrapping up Titan. And then we'll go over to Wake Entertainment and check out Dead Samurai #5. Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Gorgeous. Just the art with the cherry blossoms, whatever. I just dig it. And then you've got the B cover option there. And then there you have 1 in 15 versions of both. And then I think there's actually even a 1 in 50. I just didn't put it in here. There's a 1 in 50 of the Bill Sienkiewicz that's signed by Bill that you can also get. But I like these covers. I don't know. The 1 in 50 is not bad without the trade dress. It's a beautiful piece of art. That's all. And then finally, Wiseacre. Yes, again, I have another book from Wiseacre Comics as City of Demons #1 comes out. So yeah, if you like detective stories, I don't know, kind of curious. I like a good noir detective story. Might have to check that out. But with that said, that's it for the indie comics. I added this segment here at the end because I feel like we need to address these when they do come out. I'm just going to put them in general, not in the publisher, but magazines. So magazines on their own, Heavy Metal #4 coming out. Sometimes there's covers that people chase. You got like a Shubina cover that came out recently on one of these issues, issue 3, I think. So yeah, that's the Veta cover. But here we go. We got 2 covers on issue 4, Legacy number 324 of your Heavy Metal magazine. $14.99 these days for a mag. Not cheap, but if you collect magazines, there you go. And with that, we still have a few more things to cover as we'll get to the facsimiles. Yes, facsimiles. We'll get to those. There are a few this week. A lot of later prints. Yeah, we're getting to later prints. There's a lot of them. So we'll try to get through this quickly. But as far as facsimiles go, we are getting a facsimile edition of The Killing Joke. There's already multiple printings of this, but here's another one. Facsimile, and you got a sketch, and there's a foil version. If you want any of those, feel free. Classic story, classic book. Get one if you don't have one, obviously. Great read. G.I. Joe #49. Yeah, Serpentor stuff, as we've got the regular edition facsimile, and then we can go with a new cover art and then a foil version, which is, I believe, $1 more. So instead of $3.99, I believe the foil edition is $4.99. So it's shiny. And then also Fantastic Four #52, first appearance of Black Panther. You got a facsimile of that. 60 years of Black Panther. Then there was also a foil edition and a 1 in 25 with new cover art on the facsimile. Not a fan of those, but it's there. All right. Later prints, I mentioned there's a lot. And no, we're not going to be covering anything from, I don't think, Skybound or Absolute, which has really been killing us lately. You know who's the culprit this week? Marvel. Marvel is killing us this week. But before we get to Marvel, there is also a lot of Youngblood stuff, because Youngblood issue 3 coming out. They're giving you issue 2 to catch up, issue 2 and 1 to catch up on. But DC alone is also giving us covers with Batman, Deadpool. Wait, I'm sorry. This is the Marvel side of things. That's why I think this is the Marvel side of things. So the Batman Deadpool series, also with multiple covers. Here we go with or is this a DC one? I can't remember which one went first, but this is the point. This is the second one. Multiple covers. This is the DC side because there's a Jim Lee. It's got to be DC, right? Because there's Jim Lee, DC and Marvel. So you got a Jim Lee cover here. We've also got a Ben Oliver, which is really nice. I like this one. And there's also a Derek Chew. Pretty cool there. And then, yeah, so those are all 4 second prints for that Batman Deadpool crossover event again, but with the other publisher. Sorry, getting near the end. I'm losing my train of thought as we get onto those Youngblood books I mentioned, with a third print for Youngblood #1 with the pedestrian cover A. Here's another cover option if you like this one better. And then we'll give you a 1 in 10 that's a black and white of that if you really like it. So there you go. Catch up on your Youngblood revamp, redo, as we also have issue 2 with a second printing. So there you go. Yeah. Badrock. Yeah, I think it was a trading card from back in the day. Yeah, it is what it is. Speaking of It Is What It Is, if you haven't been reading Captain America, which just had issue 6 come out last week, don't worry. Marvel has you covered, as we are getting a third printing of Captain America #1. Armageddon assembles in 5 months. Yes, they're really getting ready for this next event. Here we go. Third print with a 1 in 25. Yep. We also have issue 2 in a third print. And that also gets a 1 in 25. Not to be outdone, second print for issue 3. And if you were wondering, yep, it also has a 1 in 25. Also, I don't love these 1 in 25s. They just really seem kind of basic, but they're out there along with this issue 4. And yeah, it's got one too. And then finally, issue 5, a second print there with, you guessed it, another red and blue bordered 1 in 25. Why all of these all at once? Why all of them with 1 in 25s? And I get it. These will probably be tough to come by down the line. I just don't think they're that desirable to begin with. So regardless of how rare they could be, I don't know if many people are going to care. Just saying. But not to be done, Marvel is not done, as they're also giving us a second print for Daredevil and Punisher #1, as well as, you guessed it, a 1 in 25. It is a dampened ocean, though. I do kind of like it, but I'm probably going to leave it on the shelf. Fine with the trade dress version of it. Infernal Hulk #2, help you catch up on that title with a second printing there, as well as 1 in 25. One more, right? Yes, we got one more. Venom #252. Second printing here, introducing the new Spider-Man, or Venom. That, yes, second printing, and yes, a 1 in 25 homage to, AF-15, not to be outdone, ASM. We've seen it before. But with that, let's start wrapping it up with our Cheesecake Covers, our final segment of the day. And there aren't many. We do have a couple. I mentioned Antarctic not having many Cheesecake Covers, but they did have some because we do have Punchline. So Punchline coming out with issue 17. We've got a cover A option, as well as a wraparound cover B, where they're playing on stage. I mean, there's guitars in both, but yeah, there's a wraparound cover. If you want to see the back of it, here we go. Or if you just want the cover A, but without trade dress, we got that covered too. There you go. Dynamite giving us Harley and Elvira #4. Yep, they're chilling in their hot tub. Cool. You like them with Drac? They got you covered there. Linsner, that's right. Linsner has to do one. I think it's in his contract. He's got to do a cover for all of these. But yeah, there you go, Linsner. And then finally, it's I think it's a Ben Caldwell, which is actually kind of cool. I kind of like this one. But there you go. 4 different covers. And yes, it's Dynamite, so there are other variations that you can get. And then we also have Sonya Reborn issue 5 with multiple covers on this one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got a Greg Land and a cosplay. There you go. And that's all I got for you this week. But before we end, I want to give you my best covers of the week. And my favorite covers of the week, as far as incentives go first, hemmed and hawed over which one to go with. But honestly, without the trade dress, I still like this. And it's a 1 in 25. Ivan Talavera. I'm biased. I like Ivan Talavera. I like this Melinda May cover with the arm in the background. It's a bit of a tease, I guess, of something to come. But I like this Virgin version with the just clean art. I like it. And for the trade dress, regular open order, I told you at the start, something about this. I know it reminds me of like an old Madonna video or something, but I like this Zatanna cover on Wonder Woman #16. So this Gilliam March, I like the perspective. The eyes drawing you in. It's just a well-done cover. And with that, that's all I got for you. So with that, I want to thank you for all the support and tell you to check out all the content we do have here on the channel. I still got more stuff coming your way this week. And yeah, But for as far as the Wednesday watch list goes, that's all, folks, for this week. Plenty of books, plenty to read, plenty to look forward to, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.